Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network. The broadcast shows are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They are not designed to provide listeners with specific personal, medical, or counseling advice. Individuals with a medical issue should always consult their healthcare provider. MS&Me is not responsible for content of individual shows. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own. Enjoy the show.
Hi everyone, it's Tori, MS Girl, you know the one, and happy May. Can you believe it's May already? It's been going fast this year. I hope everyone had a good April. I hope everyone's doing well. Big shout out and thank you to MS&Me Radio, Erica and her staff. Thank you for this wonderful community that you're giving us. It's pretty amazing. Helping everybody that we're helping and talking and everything that we're doing. So you guys are great. Thank you so much. This month I want to talk about embracing multiple sclerosis, which I know is a very hard topic because nobody wants to have a chronic illness. Nobody wants to have multiple sclerosis. Nobody wants to know anybody that is suffering, and that's hard. And I had a really hard April. Physically, mentally, spiritually, I pretty much had a huge meltdown. I was having a nervous breakdown. We were having crises in our family. My health was declining. Mentally and spiritually, I was just out of it. We had to make arrangements to get a stair lift put into our home, to widen the bathroom doors. We have cut a couple of our bathroom doors, the bathrooms that I use, you can't get the wheelchair or the walker through there. So that's a hardship. So there was just a lot of emotion going on. And as we all know, stress triggers MS. A lot of things trigger MS, but we all know that stress is really not good on MS. And I just kind of fell apart for the month of April. It wasn't pretty. Anybody who had to be around me, I feel sorry for them because I was pretty much woo. So I'm sure that anybody who suffers from a chronic illness, and even if you don't, just because that's life, people suffer and people have hard times. And sometimes, it's just hard to get through, just to survive. I mean, I was definitely not thriving whatsoever. I was just barely surviving, and luckily, with the help of my family and friends and the people that love me, they helped me get through this. But, it's been kind of crazy. And so I was listening to a lot of podcasts and reading books and watching videos. And there is a girl that I watched, and she doesn't have multiple sclerosis, but she does have an autoimmune disease. And she's always happy and dancing, and even though she was in rehab and really sick, and she kind of said one day in one of her videos, why don't we just surrender to it? Why don't we just embrace it? And then things will start maybe working out better for us. It's obviously not going to cure us, but it might make things go smoother, and we can still have a beautiful, happy life. We can still be funny. We can still have fun. We can still do all the things that we want to do. I mean, granted, we can't climb Mount Everest or do things like that on our bucket list, but we can learn about new things to do. And so I found a couple quotes that kind of apply to that. And I think it makes us stronger if we kind of take a leap of faith and kind of embrace what's going on with us, which is a really hard thing to do, especially for me, because I am the type of person that blames every little thing on MS. I mean, it can be something so non-related, and it'll be like, oh, it's because I have MS. It's because I have MS that this happened. When it doesn't even relate. It doesn't even make sense. And I have to get over that. And I think sometimes I am making myself internally suffer because of that. It's it's disheartening, and I just really, I don't know why I do that. And I know that there's a lot of really positive people out there, and MS warriors, and I have MS, but MS doesn't have me, and I'm a fighter. MS messed with the wrong person. And I respect how anybody wants to call themselves, or how they want to fight the disease. And I said a lot of those things many a times, but I'm starting to change it now, rather than always defining myself as a person with multiple sclerosis. What I'm doing now is just defining myself as who I am as a person, as a wife, as a mother, as a daughter, as a friend, as a pet lover, as somebody who likes to help people. I work, for the legal clinic with the Rocky Mountain MS Center. Like to spend time outside in nature. Oh, and by the way, I am a person living with MS. Rather than always defining it first, which is I'm guilty of since I've been diagnosed. I'm guilty of that. Even though I was so healthy, I had MS for 8 years beforehand, and a lot of people didn't know. I still kind of defined myself that way. And it's disheartening, and I'm really going to try and change my mindset and really work on my mindset and my movement and my food, and hope that things change, even if it's, I know there's not a cure, but even if it's just internally, where I'm actually thriving in my life rather than just surviving. And a lot of things happened this month in April. We did have a lot of family crises. We're going to have to get a stair lift installed so I can get upstairs. Right now I'm sleeping on the daybed down in the living room, and we have to get the doors widened for the bathrooms so that I can get my wheelchair and walker through there. And it's chaotic and it's stressful, and I want to thrive in my life, and I want things to be more peaceful. And even though I can't do the things that I used to be able to do, or the things that I want to do, I'm just going to have to take a leap of faith and kind of design my own life. And I found a couple quotes that have kind of been helping me, and I'm really working day by day to just get healthier overall, to make things so I'm not so sad, and not just like giving myself up to this disease, because that's really not the purpose of our lives. And so these are the two quotes I want to share with you. And I also would love to hear from you guys, because I think that we're all in this together. And if you can reach out to either me or on Erica's Facebook sites that she has on how you handle things in your life, that might help somebody else, or that might make it easier for any one of us. I would love for you guys, I love hearing from you guys, and I would love for you guys to reach out. So that you can always get a hold of me at msgirlyouknowthe1@gmail.com, or I'm on Facebook, MS Girl You Know the One. So any ideas or anything that helps you, or you think would help somebody else, please reach out and share that with us, because multiple sclerosis, it affects everyone. It affects us, the person who has it. It affects our family. It affects our friends, our loved ones. And nobody wants to see somebody who has to be part of this disease. I mean, it can take you down from minute to minute, not just day to day. Or you can rise from it and you can thrive from it and survive from it. But let me share these quotes with you. I think they're really powerful to me, and I think that I just really think that they're good quotes to live by. The first one is from Stephen Hawking, the famous physicist that unfortunately recently passed away. But what he said was, "My advice to other disabled people would be to concentrate on the things your disability does not prevent you from doing, and don't regret the things that it interferes with. Don't be disabled in spirit as well as physically." And I thought that was such a powerful quote because, yes, a lot of us are physically disabled. Some of us, it's an invisible disease, but we don't want to disable our spirit at the same time. And just because it's something that we have to live with and it's something that we, I mean, there's a lot of battles and things to overcome. And I just thought that that was so powerful. It's like, don't disable your spirit. And that's a motto that I want to live by. The other quote, I don't have the author for it. The author is unknown, but it really struck a vibe with me. And it's something that I'm really focusing on. And I think that I hope it helps somebody else. But, part of healing and feeling good about who you are as a person, even if you're physically disabled, or even if you're invisibly disabled, even if you don't have any kind of disability whatsoever, everybody in their lives has things that they have to overcome. And so this quote just really touched me. And it says, maybe the journey isn't so much about becoming anything. Maybe it's about unbecoming everything that isn't really you, so you can be who you were meant to be in the first place. And I thought that was such a great quote because, we all have these standards for ourselves and we all think our life is going to end up a certain way. And that's just not the way life goes. Whether you have multiple sclerosis, whether you have dealing with anything else in your life. I mean, there's so many different battles. And I just love that quote. And I just think how we could all internally live with so much more peace and inner peace and stop letting multiple sclerosis control us. And I mean, control. And when I say control us, I know physically we don't have the ability for that, but I'm talking internally because maybe my legs don't work right now, but my mind is still working. And so my heart is still working. And so maybe I can try and do some exercises or read a book or visit with friends or do something like that rather than sit and sulk and just be full of turmoil. I don't want MS to define me. I want to define who I am. And it's defined me for too long. It's just, I don't know. It's just a learning process. Because I've only had MS since 2006, and I know many people have been dealing with it for so many years, and some people can just, who are in more dire situations than I am, just deal with it with such grace. And that's something that I would just love to be able to do. And I guess God's plan for me was not what I thought it was going to be, but I'm going to take those two quotes and I'm going to stick them in my head, and I'm going to take a leap of faith, and I'm going to change for the better, even though I'm not able to do the things that I really want to do. And even though some decisions I can't make on my own, or I'm not driving right now, so I can't hop in the car and run and do whatever I want to do. And I just have to stop making excuses that MS is my problem for everything. I just feel like I always felt like I'm in a crisis. I'm always in a triage. I'm always blaming everything on MS. And, that's really not what it is. And I just have to put myself together, whether it be a wellness program, journaling, meditating, movement, food, listening to my doctor, working with my doctor, whatever it is that helps you, just let it work. And yes, fighting the disease is what we should do. I mean, you hear people say I'm a fighter, and that's great. But instead, for me personally, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to be like, yeah, it's a part of me, but it is not me. So I'm not going to let it take over my life anymore, because when I do that, I drown. It's like I get my head basically just a little bit above water, and then I end up drowning. And then it just boils down into a worse and worse situation. And we can rise from this. I mean, it maybe not physically, maybe not mentally, but emotionally, spiritually, in our hearts. We don't have to have anger. It's okay to have anger. You should probably get it out. You should probably have your meltdown, have your anger, have your tears, fall on the floor. But then guess what? Get up and move forward. That's what we got to do. We got to get up and move forward. And we can't let it overcome everything in our lives, because what was happening to me is I was letting it lead and ruin my whole life, when really that's not what my life is all about. I mean, there's so many different parts of me that has nothing to do with MS. Yes, MS dictates a lot of things, especially physically with me. I mean, and especially right now because I'm using a wheelchair and a walker, but MS is not me, and I'm not going to allow it to do that anymore. I'm not going to allow it to burn me. I'm going to make my journey my own journey, and MS is a part of it. But I'm going to push it back towards the end of the line. I'm not going to let it be the first thing that comes out of my mouth, or the first thing that I think about when I wake up, or any of that. So that's how I'm going to handle it. Because otherwise it's just too damaging. It's too, it just takes over too much. And that's just a hard thing to deal with. I'm going to relax. I'm going to enjoy my friends, my family, try and get back into some of the things that we can do. I think that all of the support groups and the MS&Me radio and all the Facebook pages, and if you go to a support group in person or on the internet, just bonding in a community. I mean, when you're not isolated, that helps tremendously, not being isolated. And when you're homebound, sometimes that's hard. Right now, I'm kind of homebound. I mean, I get out a little bit, but not too much. And sometimes if you just have a friend or a family member come and help you out, just to sit there and chat and have a cup of tea, whatever it is. I just, it's just part of our journey. I'm just surrendering to it. I'm just embracing it. And it's just a little bit of who I am. It's not the grand scheme. It's not the final picture. It's not the end of the story. Our stories end good. My story's gonna end good, with or without MS. My story's gonna end good. And there's gonna be a lot of work involved with it. I mean, I'm on an exercise program. I'm trying to eat healthy. I'm listening to my doctor and doing everything that my doctor does. I'm trying to love myself. I'm trying to embrace the MS. All the things that I can do, I'm trying to do. The essential oils or whatever works for you. If you need more sleep and you need a nap during the day, if you need more exercise and you need more exercise during the day, just don't let MS dictate who you are, because that's not who you are. You are you. You are a miraculous, beautiful person, and you deserve to be happy. You deserve to live your life. And yes, our life, we have to struggle a little harder than some people. It takes us longer to do a lot of things that people can get done in 10, 15 minutes, can take me 45 minutes. So that's part of it. But you know what? It's exactly like that quote. I'm not going to disable my spirit. And that was happening to me. And I'm going to unbecome everything that I thought I was supposed to be. And I'm going to become this new person of who I'm supposed to be. Have I figured it all out yet and what it is yet? No. I know a little bit of it is helping people because I do blog and I do have a Facebook page and I do the podcasts for Erica here. So some of it's that, but my story's not over and it's going to end good. And I believe that for all of us. So please reach out, because just helping one person can just change your day. If it's just writing something on the Facebook page or sending an email or just reach out, and that helps you out too, and it helps things go smooth, and then we take the power over MS. MS doesn't take the power over us, which we all know there are days, minutes, months when MS overpowers us. But on the days that we can take the power back, let's do it. Let's design our own life. Let's not let MS do that for us, because that is not who we're meant to be. We are meant to be wonderful, beautiful, miraculous people. With MS or without MS, it really doesn't matter. So I hope you all have a great month of May. I'll talk to you again in June. I hope everybody's feeling well. I hope everybody can do something good for themselves, nourish their souls, do something happy, do something good for yourself, and do something nice for someone else with love. And I think that will help us with our multiple sclerosis. So in the meantime, I hope you all have a great month, and I will talk to you again in June. Until then, be brave.